All right. People keep asking me to check out Pat Fallon and what he had to say to the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheatle. Are you ready? See how funny this is.
Fallon from Texas. How did a 20-year-old loner with a week's notice pick the absolute best location to assassinate President Trump when the entire Secret Service missed it? Director Cheatle, in your leadership, your agency got outsmarted and outmaneuvered by a 20-year-old. How can we have any confidence that you could stop a trained professionals from a nefarious nation state?
Outsmarted and outmaneuvered by a 20-year-old. I think that's also the reason that a lot of people are saying they think it's more than just him. They think it was more than that. There may have been another shooter. I don't know. By the way, one of the issues of being a YouTuber is you get stupid people that watch your videos. And remember when I made the joke the other day and I said, well, if Kamala Harris does run, if I was voting, I'd vote for her because she bees in these streets. Do you know that someone actually believed it? They believed that I was really going to vote for Kamala Harris if she ran and proceeded to cuss me out. A couple of people. I was like, that's why I told you, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. For some reason my screen recording stopped. Now let's continue.
Those are absolutely questions that we need to have.
I know the questions, but the fact of the matter is we can't have that confidence. Director, do you have the ability personally, do you have the authority to beef up security of any of your protectees?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So were you also aware there was a credible threat President Trump was facing? He was facing a heightened security threat to a foreign adversary?
Yes.
Okay. So given that there was an increased threat to President Trump's life, was he provided a full security complement akin to what a sitting U.S. president would receive?
No.
He was provided a full complement of security based on the threat assessment that we had.
That's not my question.
And the venue.
My question is, if he'd been the sitting president, would he...
What irritates me the most about seeing these videos with her is that she won't give a straight answer. It's like you have to badger her into giving you a straight answer.
You've had the same security he had on July 13th, it would have been beefed up.
There is a difference between the sitting president.
So your answer is he did.
And continuity of government and the responsibility
that we have. So he did not. Okay, there wasn't a CAT team, a full CAT team on site. There wasn't counter surveillance teams on site. But this is the thing. You just said you had the ability to beef up the security. You knew about the threat, and you didn't. And that's as telling as it is chilling. We have satellite images.
That's a good line.
From the Butler Fairgrounds. Have you visited the site?
No, I have not.
9 days and you have not visited the site. You should have been there that night. Did you talk to that?
No! They are killing her, man. The one that was the nicest to her was AOC. She was the nicest. Everybody else is straight up stomping her with these questions.
That evening, did you talk to the team, the heroes that surrounded the president? Did you call them that night?
They were still operational work.
So that's an answer is no. Did you call them the next day?
President. Yes, I spoke with.
You called them the very next day, not the day of, or was it 72 hours after?
I don't know the timeline, but I spoke with them.
Okay, because you're under oath.
Immediately following.
I think it was 72 hours after. You waited 3 days. What is immediately clear is that there are a number of structures that need to be secured.
Oh, God.
Of these, Director, other than the first, immediate 4, what's the most dangerous site that should have been secured? Because security 101, you got to mitigate the high ground.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the next most dangerous site? What was the closest structure to the president, other than the 4 immediate ones that you had your counter sniper teams on?
There are a number of structures around that event site.
You know who the shooter knew? The shooter has visited the site 2 more times than you have, and he had a drone, and he picked the AGR building. So you said, do you remember?
Dude did his homework. He brought a drone and everything.
In an ABC interview you did that you didn't have people on the roof of the AGR building because you were worried about safety because of the slope?
I recall that statement.
Okay. Does the Secret Service have a written policy you can share with us about slope roofs?
You know what? And even if it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to on a sloped roof, like, I'm sure there's a setup of sorts that can keep you from falling off, even if it is a sloped roof. I mean, hell, I've seen people sitting on sloped roofs, driving through certain towns. I'm like, they sitting on the damn roof just having a beer. So, come on.
No.
Okay. So why'd you act like there was one? Because is it your practice to comment on enormous events of enormous national implications when you're ignorant of the facts? That's rhetorical. So here's this thing with the slopes. You go all up to like 1812. You can go to a 112, which is about as flat as you can get without it being completely flat.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that there was a danger, safety concern there. But the problem is, Director, you put your counter snipers on a 312 roof, which is steeper than the 112. And by the way, the 112...
Wow. Wow.
is ADA compliant. You can build a ramp for a wheelchair on a 112 roof. So these are nothing but pathetic excuses, and they make no sense, and they're a bunch of cow dung. All the law enforcement I've spoken with over the last 9 days are amazed that the AGR rooftop was not secure. You want to know why? Because it's dangerous. I have never had any long gun training in my life.
For you that don't know what cow dung is, it's bullish.
I own an AR-15, and last time I shot it one time my whole life, was 6 years ago. That is until Saturday, where we recreated the events in Savoy, Texas. We recreated what happened to Butler. I was lying prone on a sloped roof at 130 yards at 6:30 at night. And I knew that he had a scope. I didn't know what kind, red dot or magnified. So I shot 8 rounds from both. You know what the result was? 15 out of 16 kill shots. And the one I missed would have hit the president's ear.
Mm.
That's a 94% success rate. And that shooter was a better shot than me. It is a...
Yeah, people were kind of like, oh, good thing he was a bad shot. I'm like, I don't think he was a bad shot. The president moved. That was the problem, you know.
Miracle President Trump wasn't killed.
Huh?
Corey...
Because he caught his ear. Everybody been talking about it. It's like, you know, here, boom, you're dead. Here, oh, he hit the ear. You know what I mean? It's like...
Torre's life is over because that damn shooter made it on the roof. And it wasn't the roof that was dangerous. It was the nut job on top of the roof. You know what else is dangerous? I believe your horrifying ineptitude and your lack of skilled leadership is a disgrace. Your obfuscating today is shameful. And you should be fired immediately and go back to Garden Doritos. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Chair recognizes Ms. Lee from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Go back to guarding Doritos. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Yeah, and I heard she came from some chip company or something like that. What the hell is... She came from Frito-Lay or something? Because I remember when people first started talking about her, they was like, kept calling her Cheetos and all this other stuff. And I assumed that was because her name was Cheatle. But now he says, go back to guarding Doritos. And I used to work for Pepsi. Pepsi owns Frito-Lay. Or maybe Frito-Lay owns Pepsi. I think Pepsi owns Frito-Lay. And they make Cheetos and Doritos. Okay? I know. Because whenever they had an event for us, all nothing but Pepsi products, all a bunch of Pepsi chips and stuff. It was a very salty, fun, crunchy, soda-y time. Post comments down below. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. This was funny. 10 million subscribers. Woo!